Coming up on Newsnight, learn who received the Democratic nominations in the Pittsburgh mayoral race.
Plus, find out why there was no snow this morning.
And find out what the weather will be like this weekend. All this and more on Newsnight. Hello and welcome to Newsnight. I'm Marrero alongside Royce Jones. Taking a look into the campaign trail here in Pittsburgh, both incumbent Bill Peduto and Sheriff Bill Mullen won the endorsement of the Allegheny County Democratic Committee. On Sunday of last week, the Democratic Party leaders gathered at the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local Hall on the South Side. All mayoral candidates attended the event, including Bill Peduto, Darreen Harris, and Reverend John Welsh. However, John Welsh did not seek the endorsement of the Democratic Party because of this, Welsh was not allowed to appear at the event and was escorted out. Bill Peduto won the endorsement in a vote of 372 to 245 over Darreen Harris. Merriman Preston, a spokesperson for the Peduto campaign, told the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette that, quote, "We took 60% of the votes, which is a pretty decisive victory. It really speaks to the breadth of the mayor's support. People know that the mayor is continuing to deal with the challenges the city is facing, and they're pleased with what he's done so far," end quote. At the same time, Sheriff Bill Mullen received 1,147 votes against his opponent, Pittsburgh homicide detective George Sattler, whom received 442 votes. In an interview with the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, Detective Sattler said, quote, "I was hoping to do better, but I don't want to disappoint the more than 440 people who supported me. I will continue to run," end quote.
From canceled classes to folks calling off of work, local Pittsburghers were more than prepared to face the big nor'eastern snowstorm this Tuesday. Meteorologists around the city were calling for about 10 inches of snow to land overnight. When local citizens woke up to bare streets and sidewalks, there was some disappointment. Former Pittsburgh Steeler Charlie Batch posted his opinion about the false weather report on Instagram, saying, quote, Up early for nothing, some snow I got." KDKA Chief Meteorologist Jeff Versala said that the storm conditions are less severe than thought originally. Meteorologists are saying there is a complicated explanation for the entire Pittsburgh area missing the snowstorm and blame the snow flop on dry air and low dew points. So with low dew points and dry air, I wonder if that'll continue. Let's head over to Josh Croup for the weather.
Yeah, guys, the National Weather Service this morning really blamed that lack of snow that you woke up to today on the dry air. We haven't been able to get a lot of moisture into the air, and therefore you woke up to bare grounds and bare sidewalks. But you did see some flurries on and off throughout the day with some strong wind gusts. That's going to continue tomorrow. 26 degrees tomorrow on Wednesday with some snow. But again, as it has all season long, not a lot of accumulation expected moving into Wednesday. We'll get a little bit of a break from that snow on Thursday, high of 38 with some partly cloudy skies. But moving into Friday and Saturday, you see highs in the 40s with lows in the 30s. But because of that and because of some precipitation that could be moving in, some of that moisture could turn into that mixed stuff that we don't like, the wintry mix, the rain and snow that could create some icy conditions on the road. So heading into this weekend, we're going to keep an eye on two things. One, the wintry mix, and two, the wind gusts. Tomorrow, that could get up to more than 40 miles an hour at times, especially in the city with those wind tunnels created by the buildings. Guys?
I'm not gonna lie, I was very disappointed when I woke up today and I saw zero snow.
I know, so was I. I was counting on there being at least one more canceled class for me, but I guess I just had to settle with one.
Yeah, no. How do you feel about having no snow in the morning?
I'm okay with it. I'm a big fan of the South. I'm a big fan of Florida and Georgia, North Carolina. They don't get a lot of snow down there. I'm not a huge fan of the winter. I'm not going to lie. I like my warmer temperatures. And when I woke up to, actually, yesterday when someone was saying, we're going to get all this snow, we're terrified for snow, I said, calm down. I'll believe it when I see it. And I didn't see it this morning, so I didn't believe it. So you can only trust so many forecasts and predictions so much. Now, don't get us wrong. There was a foot of snow in New York City and other major places throughout the United States. Pittsburgh just happened to get lucky.
Yeah, I used to live in Florida before here, and I agree with you with the warm weather. On the other side of the break, learn what happened after a hoverboard caught fire.
And find out why it's always good to know your rights. This
and more when we return from the break on NewsNight.
All right, it's that time of the show, Case of the Week. Why is the Pioneer Sideline the best show to watch on YouView? Rob.
You know what? I don't even like this show. You always argue with me, and I never win.
Goodness, this guy.
Josh?
No, the reason Pioneer Sideline's the best show is because of the debates and the facts. The debates.
Paul.
No. It's because of Pioneer Sideline. We are the hypest, and it's the best decision you'll ever make because we have a playlist. Pioneer Sideline.
Get out of here.
Gentlemen, all good points, but it's because of me, Blaine King, your host. Watch the Pioneer Sideline.
All right, guys, any questions on the script? We good to go?
Yep. Right.
Should be good.
All right, great. All right, yeah, camera 3 set up right there. Camera 2. Use the ball when you're moving this around, but set up for the 2 shots just right there. Weather, how we doing?
It gon' rain.
Perfect.
Welcome back to Daybreak. I'm Sarah Mackin with you. The real host, Adrian Billon, was seen snuggled up against.
All right, prompter. We got everything in. We're good to go? Key Pro, everything loaded. We're good to go? All right. Tyler, any questions?
That shot looks fine.
3, 2, 1. Bring up camera 2. Open mics. Cue talent.
Good morning and welcome to Daybreak. I'm Blaine King.
Thanks for tuning in. I'm Aubrey Henkin.
And I'm Aaron Myler.
And this is Entertainment on Point.
Beyonce has surprised us again.
Kanye West just tweeted.
This was a huge weekend at the box office.
A fan favorite TV show just got canceled. Guess what band is coming to the city? And the award went to...
But did you see her engagement ring?
Her outfit was awful.
I would fire her stylist. Tune in for all of your Hollywood gossip and pop culture news.
Entertainment on Point.
Get into the point of pop culture.
The hearts of a Harrisburg family weigh deep this week after their 2-year-old daughter Ashanti Hughes died this past Saturday. The child suffered from severe burns. The burns were a result of a house fire that broke out Friday night. The house fire was allegedly caused by the explosion of a hoverboard. The family told the county fire chief that they heard some sizzling and crackling in the hoverboard, and before they knew it, it exploded into flames. The explosion broke out around 7 p.m., and by the time the fire team got there, the street was covered in thick smoke. There were also 2 other girls and a teenage boy and an adult male that were trapped in the fire as well. The girls are reported to be in critical condition. Unfortunately, this is not the first incident that hoverboards have started. As of last July, over 60 hoverboard fires have been reported, totaling over $2 million in damage. Our thoughts are with the Hughes family at this time.
The video of an Uber driver getting stopped by local law enforcement on February 26 has now gone viral through social media due to the mistreatment the driver faced from the authorities. Jess Bright, an Uber driver and attorney, was driving a passenger through the ride-sharing app when he was pulled over near a pawn shop in Wilmington, North Carolina. As multiple officers surrounded his car and arrested his passenger, Bright began to record the situation with his phone and was quickly asked to stop recording by Police Sergeant Kenneth Becker. When Bright refused, Becker then claimed that there was a new law passed in the state which made filming illegal, even though such a law didn't exist. Bright asked the officer for more information about this law, and the situation escalated as Becker told Jess Bright to step out of the vehicle to allow them to conduct a search. Bright didn't get out of the car, and as seen in the video telling the officer that, quote, "I'm just recording just in case something happens," end quote. That is when Becker called for a canine unit, and according to the police, the canine unit indicated a presence of narcotics, which gave the cops probable cause to conduct the search of the vehicle. The cops searched the car and found nothing. Both Bright and his passenger were released without charges. According to WECT, the Wilmington Police Department started an internal affairs investigation this past Friday. Sheriff Rolf Evangelis issued a statement which said, quote, taking photographs and videos of people that are in plain sight, including the police, is your legal right. As a matter of fact, we invite citizens to do so when they believe it is necessary, end quote. When we return, we will learn who U.S. diplomats are meeting with.
We'll be right back with more NewsNight.
Here on the Pioneer Sideline, we talk a lot about sports in the studio, but it's beforehand when the conversation is actually interesting.
I hope I have enough powder on. I don't want to be too shiny on camera.
No, Trevor, I think it looks good every week you pull it off.
Ah, thanks, Phil. Man, your hair looks great tonight, by the way.
You sure? Yeah, I mean, I got a new haircut, but it looks all right.
Hey, guys. Does this make me look fat?
No, you look great. You look good. Yeah, Kyle.
Thanks. I was really...
Sports! Yeah!
Ever wanted to be behind the mic and have the world listening to your show on campus? Well, it's just as simple as joining WPPJ, Point Park's student-run radio station, located on the second floor of Lawrence Hall, right next to the dining services. Listeners can tune in using Point Park's website or through the TuneIn app by searching WPPJ. WPPJ welcomes any new DJs that want to get involved, so be heard. Do you have what it takes?
Well, no one showed up to the show tonight. Follow my lead. In 3, 2, take 2, open mics, cue talent. Good evening and welcome to UView News. I'm Josh Croup. We begin with breaking news out of West Penn Hall. Ready, 3, take lower third. Traffic is backed up in the West Penn elevator line after elevator 1 broke down on the 7th floor. Lose lower third. Maintenance advises students to take the stairs to avoid delays. Ready, 2, take 2. In other news, no, you know what? I didn't sign up for this. We need crew. Join UView. Take alien hand transition.
As the tensions escalate in the region of Western Asia, a group of former U.S. officials plan to conduct another round of informal talks with the officials of the communist country of North Korea. Former U.S. intelligence specialist Joseph Detrani, whom helped complete an agreement on North Korea's nuclear program, said unofficial talks between North Korea and the U.S. usually take place about every 6 months. Detrani said he is hopeful that these informal talks will eventually lead to exploratory meetings between current U.S. officials and North Korean diplomats. In an interview on March 10th, Detrani said, quote, "You have to give it a shot, re-engage and have some exploratory talks and see if you can get some momentum on halting what they're doing, because it is beyond the pale right now," end quote. Tensions over North Korea have increased this past couple of weeks as dictator Kim Jong-un accelerates his push for more powerful nuclear weapons and ballistic missiles. China, Kim Jong-un's biggest ally, has lashed out at South Korea for agreeing to the deployment of the U.S. Missile Defense Shield, the Terminal High Altitude Area Defense, also known as THAAD. Detrani said that if North Korea doesn't respond to the talks by stopping its nuclear and missile tests, along with their production of fissile material, then the U.S. should continue to build its missile defense capabilities and increase military coordination in the region. Detrani also said, quote, "Kim Jong-un is making it difficult for anyone to sit down with the North Koreans, but North Korea isn't prepared to give up its nuclear weapons and will continue to upgrade its missiles delivery systems until they perfect them. They are an existential threat to the region now, and with an ICBM, they will be an existential threat to the United States," end quote. The Chinese said his group plans to bring up the North Korean missile mission at the United Nations in New York at the end of this month or the beginning of April to arrange the meetings.
Over 60 people died during a landslide in Ethiopia's capital, Addis Ababa, this past Saturday. The landslide occurred from a landfill called Kosh. The landfill has been around for many decades and has been home to many people over the years. The landfill is home to over 200 residents. Fisa Tekel, the chief researcher for the Amnesty International in Ethiopia, said that people stay there and live in makeshift homes on top of the trash and live there like it's a mountain. But this is no mountain. The landfill has been a threat to people of Addis Ababa for many years. Other than the putrid smell that takes over the landfill and the surrounding areas, the coast also has small fires that erupt due to the methane gas and decomposing garbage. However, up until now, there has been no form of action from the Ethiopian government to remove these people from these homes. The government has transferred 290 residents who had not been injured to temporary shelter in the capital. Crews are still searching for missing persons within the debris.
So North Korea,
North Korea is some
Yeah,
juicy stuff going on internationally, huh?
Yeah, they've been in the spotlight for a while because of those problems. And hopes and prayers to those families who have been affected from that landslide.
From the landslide, yeah, it's definitely horrible. My thoughts and prayers are with them as well. I couldn't imagine, we used to have those things that go on here, but it's nice that their government's stepping in to help them out and give them shelter. So definitely thoughts and prayers, love and light to those families.
Yes. And that is your news tonight. With Royce Jones, I'm Danis Marrero. Have a great night.